walking on sand and holding your hand. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland, in my own homeland. Enjoying the bright, the warm sunlight. Oh my God, what a beautiful sight in my own homeland. This place is so nice, wanna do everything twice. Yes, I feel as if I'm in a paradise. No matter the season, you've got every reason. This place is another little heaven.
Greetings, kings and queens. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. Today is Friday, December 3rd. And of course, today the curtain comes down, the season finale on our podcast, and we resume back 2022. But today we're going to be doing a celebration. Yes, our creatives going to be here, and we're going to do music, poetry, skits, you name it. So stick and stay, don't go nowhere unless you're going to get your tea or your coffee. I'll be right back with my podcasting team, and along with all our guests and creatives.
A few days or a week, and you will see just what I mean. Just take my advice, so everyone is nice. You feel like royalty, my friend.
And the work them on I go on with it, and I love the Friday poetry corner thing. I love it. I endorse it 100%, and I'm like, continue the work, and I am always here whenever the island, want a shout out from I am here, to contribute to what is being done. I appreciate it. I appreciate, love it very much.
Yes, indeed. Top of the morning, everyone. Top of the morning. Welcome. Come on, people. I can't hear it. What happened?
Good morning.
Top of the morning.
All right.
Good morning.
All right. Without any further ado, morning.
Morning.
I'm going to turn it over to Courtney. Courtney, feel free to fire it away.
Yes. Good morning. Top of the morning to everyone. As you know, it's our grand finale, our last live show for 2021, and we resume in January 2022. So, without further ado, I'll just turn over to our guest host, Amina, Blackwood-Meeks. Come in, Amina. Come in.
See me here, me in the place. Greetings, everyone. Let me repeat our acknowledgement of the ancestors who have brought us this far, and let us acknowledge that we're everything they hoped for and dreamt about. It would be wonderful if just for a moment, following on from Gabby's wonderful experience of what manners mean, if we could just see each other's faces, I keep saying that if we were in a, thank you, Cleve, in a face-to-face situation, if we're in fact on a so-called live stage, we wouldn't turn our backs to the audience, would we? No. So one of the things that this so-called technology is causing us to do is to forget about manners. Imagine we could sit here for an hour and then go out on the street and pass the person we were just in a Zoom session with, and we wouldn't recognize them. That can't work. That's like going to a funeral and hear somebody on them cell phone giving them wife instruction about how to open the new component set, which has happened to me, and I couldn't believe that she couldn't wait. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes allow me this little soapbox. Sometimes I teach about tradition and culture. And sometimes when I explain to my students what culture is, I use the cell phone to explain. And I say that a long time ago, we used to shout up the hill and say, Pamo, Pamo, and it carried the sound. And after that, we used the aben. And after that, we used the drum. And after that, we used something else. And after that, the phone on your wall, and it ring, and it ring, and it ring, and there is no voice message, and there is nobody if you run, come and pick it up. And after that, we had something we used to call the fridge. You need a whole handbag to carry the fridge and the little, what it named, charger that go with it. And after that, it come down to a little thing them used to call the razor. And then the razor never worked because we have big fingers. So it grew a little bigger and so on and so forth. But essentially, we are communicating. That's what culture is. No matter how it changes, there are some essential elements that must remain. Otherwise, culture is in danger. And essentially, we're a culture that love to know what people look like. We like pinch them. And when them put on little weight, we say, Lord, you look welly. And if that changes about us, we are no longer an African diaspora Caribbean culture. We have become something else. And we are in danger of becoming that something else. And what we have to fight against that something else is what our grandparents teach us. What Gabby learned from that old woman on the train, or that old man who couldn't read, but who was so enamored of that Jamaican who would speak another language. Our language is up close and personal. Our language is respectful. Our language is knowing that we never belonged in the back of the train. Show your face. As Wycliffe Bennett used to say to us, take up space. Make the world know that you are there. Because if you go to a face-to-face meeting and somebody turn them back to you, you're going to say, that somebody they don't have no manners. So the manners that we have as African people, we must transfer it to whatever the technology is. We can't turn our back to people when we are talking to them. All right, so all the beautiful people, thank you for responding to that and showing your face, particularly if you're going to perform. The next thing I want to acknowledge is I started to write a poem, which I haven't finished, Gabby, and it says, just so, little England, no little no more.
Aye.
And just so, England is not even England. And Barbados has come into their own, and we're supposed to clap for that.
Yes.
We're supposed to clap for that.
Oh, yes.
And then over the days and months and weeks and years to come, we have to ask ourselves, what does that mean? Because there is a decolonization of the mind and the spirit, which still needs to take place. You know, in the way we often talk about Jamaica as so-called independent, it means that we are still discussing what it means to be independent. So we still have to discuss what it means to be a republic in this so-called post-colonial era when the colonial master still did it in our back.
Recording in progress.
Yes, when in fact they are talking about in this new climate change dispensation, you think that they can't thief our son? They are still coming to take what they want from us because they have put a proposal on the table that they will bring their solar batteries to be charged in the region to take it back to them when them don't have no power. And then we're going to say about the sun free. Well, if the sun did free, them could have charged it, which part them there. So we have to begin to recognize that colonialism and the thieving of who we are still there. And part of what we have to combat that is who we are, how we love ourselves, how we treat our traditions, how we treat one another, how we get up and cheer. So we're glad that you have crossed another hurdle and we're there. Even if we are kicked down the hurdle and we're not jump it yet, we're there. And we're here for our countries, and we're here for our individuals, and we're here for each other. God bless everyone. So there is no drum in the house. And I wish there were drums in the house. Because on the continent, we begin everything with the music of the drum. And we begin everything with the music of the drum, because certainly in Nigeria and Ghana, they say that drummers are closest to the ears of God. That's important. If we read the book by Anne Bailey called Break the Silence, there is a chapter in which she talks about the incident. I think it's chapter 2. And Anne Bailey says that when she was in Ghana doing her research, people kept referring to the incident. And if you say the incident, they would go quiet. And you would have to find a way to probe, to find out what the incident meant or still means. And when she found out what that meant, she got an understanding of how Africans feel when we say they were complicit in our enslavement. And what it was is that, first of all, there is no word on the continent that means slavery. It's just a European word that we use. Where them have slavery, you know, it's in their language, Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia, and all of those Slav words. That's what it means. But what we're calling slavery on the continent have a completely different meaning. We're not going to go into that this morning. What we know is that the Africans thought that when the enslavers came in, they were doing something similar to what them think was slavery on the continent until they raided a village and took all the drummers. Until they, thank you, Marcia. Until they raided a village and took all the drummers. And at that stage, them say, no, and the same thing where we are deal with, because them would have know how sacred the drummers are.
Oh, all right, no problem, man.
Know how sacred the drummers are, and they would not touch them and carry them away. So I commend that for your reading. It makes very interesting reading. Anne Bailey, Breaking the Silence, and it's chapter 2, as my head is saying it. So the drum is critical to what we do. In the way that we are impromptu, could we ask Marcia to just play us a little rhythm, to take us to the ears of God, and then we can come back and perform. Thank you. Is she unmuted? Have we unmuted? Yes.
Still can't hear her.
Thank you, Marcia. I see you do the last slap, and you could hear some of the notes. And I also know that for whatever reason, Zoom does not pick up drumming unless other things are in place. Yes. So thank you very much. Kennedy, we appreciate that statement from you. And perhaps later you can share with us the importance of the drum from your special place on the continent. If we have drumming, then it is almost natural that we follow with some music. And I keep looking out in case Fofie, whenever she turns up, we will ask her to come in. So Gabby, You know what comes to mind? You tell me to forget. You're still singing?
Yeah.
You can do some of it for us, please.
You tell me to forget that my grandmother was born right there, so all right, I say I shall go. You tell me to forget, it is there I want my own children to grow. Well, all right, I say I shall go. But I hope you understand how I feel about Emerton, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. And I hope you know it's true that I will never forgive you, because look what you do to my Emerton. You tell me to forget that you uproot my people and scatter them to and fro. Well, all right, I say I shall go. You tell me to forget that you did them wrong things and didn't let my children know. Well, all right, I say I shall go. But I hope you understand how I feel about Emerton, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. And I hope you know it's true that I will never, 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 never forgive you, because look what you do to my Emerton. You tell me to forget that my grandmother was born right here, so well, all right, I say I shall go. All right, I say I shall go. Well, all right, I say I shall go.
Thank you for that beautiful centering. That no matter where we go, we heartstring there, where we grandparents did born. And that is part of what empowers us. I know, dear friends, that we are time bound, but in the way that I've been advised that I can be fluid. If anyone wants to interject and just, say 10 seconds of something in between items or in the chat, let's have it. And let's make this final show for the year, for this season, another deepening of the bonds that we share. So anyone wants to share anything at this? Yes,
I just
Pam.
want to say a special greeting to you. It's been a minute since I've seen you, So I just especially telling you bless up. And of course to everybody else. But
give thanks, my sister. Give thanks. It's been a Jamaican minute. And that's why we have to kick COVID out the door. So there will be more coffee and tea down the line. Francine, I personally haven't met you before. Forgive me. Can you just introduce us to you?
Well, I can't come on quiet enough to make a bag of noise. Good morning, good afternoon. Hello.
Yes,
Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Good morning, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. I don't know why I haven't met you as yet, Miss Blackwood, but I mean, I'm here this morning, so you're seeing me live and in living colors as I promised to be here. It's good to see all the persons who have been on already. It's good to look into the chat room and see the other persons. It's good to see fellow co-hosts and fellow co-members and fellow co-workers. I'm so excited. I'm overjoyed and all them something there, listening in. And please, people, the very fact that you are on the program or you were on the program since year or last year and you turn up this today, it means you have some interest in what's happening, and it means you're all excited to be here. I hear Miss Amina sing and I chill me almost eye water drop out and go on with a whole heap of something. But what I want you to do is lively up on yourself, because this is the final show. We're drawing down the curtains today. So we want anything we want to go with today. I want to put a lot of emphasis on it. Let's do this. Let's lively it up and let's just have a blast. Michibu in the building. Woo!
Give thanks. Give thanks. All right, so Mr. Rhyminister, what you got for us? The stage is yours.
Well, firstly, it's a pleasure and an honor to see my fellow countryman, Gabby, in the place. Wishing you health, love and peace. Because everybody else, season's greetings. And obviously, that was a very touching performance, as always. I didn't realize this getting a good call so quickly, but we again figure out something to do here quickly. And actually, I can just do this and go. Let me go. Can you all hear the beat?
Yes.
All right, so I'm a freestyle rapper from Barbados, and this is what's gonna happen right now. So let me just go. I don't know if I could do it like this in here. I'll restart the beat, and if y'all want me to rap on any word, just put it inside the chat. So again, I restart the beat, and then it will go. Let me go. Yeah. Right. My words an unraveling script, forming a javelin, rip through your rambling wit, leave you scrambling, quick shoot, the cannon is lit, prove my rapping will shift the earth's surface, cause it's my sole purpose to spit, an unraveling script, forming a javelin, rip through your rambling wit, leave you scrambling, quick shoot, the cannon is lit, prove my rapping will shift the earth's surface, cause it's my sole purpose to spit, these screens cutting notes, so I had to press the power, show you all the power indulged in me from people like Gabby, making people's minds move like it's stabby from crosshair. Listen, you try my best to play over the beat, doing it in a way that's casual and sweet. So it's magical how I have a habit to put words together, have a penchant to light up your life. Listen, I'm making you move like a pendant, making sure people see how I independent. We are a republic, so we building things from the ground foundation, making sure we rise as a nation, integrating the best parts, making sure people see we forming paragraphs, using paragraphs. Listen, the thing is beautiful. Rhyminister sitting in cubicles, make sure I nice down to the cuticle. An unraveling script, forming a javelin, rip through your rambling wit, leave you scrambling, quick shoot, the cannon is lit, prove my rapping will shift, the earth's surface is it, my sole purpose is spit, an unraveling script, forming a javelin, rip through your rambling wit, leave you scrambling, quick shoot, the cannon is lit, prove my rapping will shift, the earth's surface is it, my sole purpose is spit, again, come in here, ain't trying to linger, enough respect to DJ Simmers and Empress Zinger, when they start to play with these lyrics, you see I zinging, they pinging like a ping pong ball off of the wall, man, making your head hurt, need Panadol, cause they come in here making sure I had to pause so I could gulp, making sure I form something I just gonna sculpt the best lyrical image of form and listen storm inside of the room, making sure that you move, switching from doom to happiness. Rapping is something that giving me joy, words are deploy, making sure you see how we're running like a juggernaut. Enough respect to the people inside of the spot, the real stuff podcast, making sure that when they drop it off of the mic, it's hot so you can see that my thoughts coming together tighter than leather. Play with the lyricism, whether backed by a band or in a cappella. Whoever back a fella will see how I come in here, touching the beat is like a felony. An unraveling script forming a javelin, rip through your rambling wit, leave you scrambling. Quick shoot, the cannon is lit, prove my rapping will shit the earth's surface, cause it's my sole purpose to spit. An unraveling script forming a javelin, rip through your rambling wit, leave you scrambling. Quick shoot, the cannon is lit, prove my rapping will shift the earth's surface, cause it's my sole purpose to spit. Pro beige and pro black man, make sure I form things I coming off of the mind, put it together, make sure people can see that my heart is light as a feather. That's how I keep smiling. Make sure that when they freestyling, they free mind so they can open and open. When they start to play with lyricism, you see the way that I be coming here painting the picture. Listen, I can try my best to act the best like Daphne, Joseph, Hackett in the theater, making sure that I give enough respect to the creator, making sure I doing the best when I start to put words together for my lineage, making sure that everybody coming up beaming. I see me like a cricketer, taking the wicket to anything that tries to come in front to me, thoughts, doubts, and fears. People that come in here with jeers, drop the J out of CH, form in the chair, sit in the chair, make sure you see what they be doing. The wrist is fluid when they drop it off of the top. An unraveling script forming a javelin, rip through your rambling wit, leave you scrambling. Quick shoot, the cannon is lit, prove my rapping will shift the earth's surface, because it's my sole purpose to spit. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Big up, yes. Big up, Mr. Rhyminister. Yes. There are so many things to take away from that, but certainly one of them for me is to find your purpose and pursue it. What is your purpose? So thank you for that, of the many reminders that you have given to us. Now, me hear you say you did kind of frightened when me call you, because you never know you were coming so soon. Me neither. I just look around the room.
I wasn't afraid.
I just look around the room and I don't see all the people who are on the list. Yeah. So me pick on somebody. So everybody have to get ready then. And here is what I want to suggest that we do. We go and pick on the next person. And you see, when you finish, you throw it to the next person who you want to hear from. And then we do it like this. Like a little game we play in Jamaica. Say, who is coming next? Punchinella, little fella. Marcia, you know it? Yeah. And then Punchinella come in and you say, what can you do, Punchinella, little fell? What can you do, Punchinella, little fell? And Punchinella just give us what they want to give us. So wherever Cherry Natural is, we trust that she's safe. Wherever Ifaral is, Tafina is here, Culture Doc, we trust that they're safe and that they will join us later. As we're giving thanks, can we just big up all of the brains and the organizers behind Real Stuff podcast for giving us this beautiful opportunity to connect, not just across the Caribbean, but across the African Caribbean diaspora, and remind ourselves of who we are. Rhyminister, who you want to hear from next?
I think the names I was thinking about, you was telling me that they're not inside the room. I see Elaine inside here, so if Elaine is here and ready to go.
Elaine, what can you do, Punchinella, little fell? What can you do, Punchinella, little fell? Elaine, where are you? Or Elaine just put up her name and go and drink her coffee and argue with none. No, because she unmute herself. Come on, Elaine, them call you into the ring. Come on. Are you ready, Elaine? All right, Elaine. Open our mic, but there you go. Come on, Elaine. What can you do, Punchinella, little fella? If you want a couple more seconds, Elaine, let us know. Because we have, we are not limited time, but we have a time block within which to operate. So then, make me pick somebody else out of the ring then. Kennedy. What can you do, Punchinella, little fella? What can you do, Punchinella, little fella? Who is going, Elaine or Kennedy? Gone, Kennedy gone? What is wrong with these people? Them say them not ready. You give them a chance to be ready. And then them still not ready. We have to ready, you know. We have to ready. Seriously, we have to ready. Because them are the ones always ready. And we can't be caught napping. Miss Lee, you are on my list. Step up to the plate, Miss Lee. Well, there's a plate of hockey and salt. Greetings.
Hi.
Can we see you, Miss Lee?
Hello.
All right, Miss Lee appears to be having a challenge. Miss Lee appears to be having challenges. So
yes, I am fine. 1 minute, please. Hello.
Yes, Miss Lee, we see you now. You ready?
Yes, darling, right here.
All right. What can you do?
To each and every one on the podcast crew this morning. Put a hand up, and I hope you guys will enjoy the festivities. Don't do too much and don't do anything that I wouldn't do, okay? This is the last poem that I wrote. It's a bit different from the rest, but I'm going to share it with you guys this morning. Are you hearing me?
Yes, loud and clear.
It is entitled, Don't Abuse Them. Men, this one is for you guys. Men, you can choose to be men. Magnificent or miserable. Egotistical or enslaved. Natural or negative. Woman, stop touch up the little boy. You don't have no sense. You know, see how I'm young and innocent. A big old woman like you, before you go look big man, are the people, them little boy, you want to come jump on pan? Eh? As big as you be, make a man come jump on pan you. I swear, the judge would have given him 11 years. Eh? But because them a man, everything will happen, and them get the wrong. We don't love them and treat them with dignity. No, we act like say the man a smarty picnic. From them little we abuse them. Tell them how them worthless and not have no use. And how when them come big, at them police are go shoot. We tell them how them come in like them dirty pooper. And for God say, away. And the dirty pooper did bring them come here. We call them to cut the yard and trim up with fence. But would I never give them a seed of boiled banana? No, if they not put 2 cents. Hey, Serrano, what you had the man? How you feel tell the man which part I'm mother for going yam? Eh? Rotted could you know? All when the man do you nothing. You fly a big lick on the man. I treat him humble and not treat you like dirty bungle. You don't have no discipline, my girl. You don't have no style. You didn't know say the man a smarty style. Me not take up the man, but fear appear. Me not give nobody no clothes where them can't wear. Me not say we not have some animal. Yes. Some of we woman too. But not blame the man them for something what them not do. Sometimes we don't know them secret. What them go through when them have grow. When if we just talk to them and treat them with respect, them would have tell we. So we would have know. Enough man get abused. But true, them not talk. For them afraid say if them tell somebody, them are go laugh. No make pride in your mouth your arching. Out your life. You're up to your right, wife. Men, you can choose to be men. Magnificent or miserable. Egotistical or enslaved. Natural or negative. It's your choice.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Miss Lee. Thank you very much.
Amina, unfortunately, I got to go. I have to run. I got another appointment.
Did you have another item to do for us? I know what I asked you to do was impromptu, but before you run, can you do what you had planned to do, please?
Yes.
Before you do that though, let me, because sometimes my head walk. So let me acknowledge Miss Lee's presentation. Next week, Friday the 10th is International Human Rights Day. And I am very moved by the fact that she also acknowledged that men too are abused. Miss sorry you go back to the last part. For only I give the man them the responsibility. You need another verse to give the woman them some of the responsibility. Cause and make and clap and bird can't fly on one wing. But give thanks. We take that into International Human Rights Day. I acknowledge Nana Fofie. Nana Fofie, I'm going to ask you to go right after our brother Gabby. I'm going to close my camera just for a moment to make sure that the other people in the house, like students and so, who have to use the internet, can give me an hour because it might be an instability from my end. But please proceed without me, Gabby, and then Nana Fofie. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, good morning, Amina. You all the way there in Jamaica, I hear in Barbados. I feeling fit. I feel so glad we come a republic. Very flavious. And the other people, Lord, your people so responsible. And so we came here, you guarantee, to listen to songs and listen to poetry. And all I have to say, with my special touch, Amina, thank you very much. Thank you.
Somebody bring a book for me.
Walk good, Gabby, walk good, man.
Yeah, family, respect.
Untitled. So I am giving thanks for being here and just waiting to see how we go.
Back, the students have agreed to come off the system so that we can be uninterrupted.
Fabulous. So this is how we go, Sister Amina?
Pardon me?
I said, this is how we go.
Yes.
This is Afua Fofie. And you know, there's a big story because I almost missed the party. You wouldn't believe that I almost missed the party.
Did we send Gabby off with a blessing? Sorry, he's gone, but we can still bless him. Can you do that quickly?
Oh, yes. Many blessings to him, his ancestors, and all the spirits who walk with him. We ask that he continues to be guided and that he continues to be as powerful as his work is, and that all the blessings and messages he has to deliver will be delivered.
Give thanks, Ashe.
We give thanks. Mm-hmm. So, sister, I almost missed the party, but I am so glad because sometimes the last part of the party, when the real music and the thing come on, you know. Please forgive me. Today is one of our sacred days. As you know, I am a practitioner of the Akan spiritual tradition, the Akom, of the ancestors of Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and some other places in that area. And so today is one of our sacred days. If I might just share a little bit. It's called Fofie, and it's sacred to me in personal ways as well, because this is the day on which I was born. I was born on a Friday that was a Fofie, a sacred day. So people in Ghana would tell me, oh, Nana, today it is your birthday, today's your birthday. And there'll be big laughter and celebration. But even more importantly, over and above that, it is a day when the Akan people take a little time out to celebrate their ancestors, to celebrate the deities who walk with us, and to give honor and praise to the Almighty Creator, who we call Odomonkomo Boadi, whom we call Nyankompong, who we call Nyame or Onyame, whom we call Achoriduampong, whom we call by so many different names. So today, you know, I run a shrine house here. We had to be up at 5, doing this, doing that, and just being in protocol with our spirits and with the protocols of the tradition. So please, I had wanted to tap in earlier, but, you know, I was so tapped into spirit and Oh my gosh. And I was feeling the energy of the space, but I couldn't pull myself up and out to get here. So I'm now here and I'm giving thanks. What would you like me to do this morning?
Well, I will tell you what has happened so far. Gabby centered us in the emotions that we still carry from having been separated from the places where our grandmothers were born. We greeted one another. We acknowledged the need to be in love and to be respectful. We acknowledged the need to recognize those values that have always served us. And if we displace ourselves from those values, then we shall be scattered and not just a united Caribbean African diaspora. Rhyminister spoke with us very beautifully, as only rappers can, and reminded us of many things, the power within us and how that power allows us to pursue our individual goals that sometimes we call our collective objectives, using images like the javelin and some wonderful fighting spiritual words. Woo! Marcia had played the drum for us, and we reminded ourselves of the importance of the drum as being the ear of God. And then you came in where Miss Lee was talking about, doing her poem about the importance of recognizing the abuses and the misbehavior on both sides of the gender fence. And that unless we acknowledge that, we can't fix it. And so this is where we are. So we have names of performers, but we didn't have any order in which they should come. So we're allowing the Spirit to guide us.
Every time.
And we will name a performer, and that performer will throw to the next performer, like how we play a Punchinella Liquor Fella.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So, Sister Amina,
Winston
tell a big time story. You just go on, so. Because you not leave here today. You say,
no, I'm going to tell a story yet. I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to tell none yet.
We are the same pages.
Yes. So we acknowledge...
can't work on pages now. We have to work on pages.
We acknowledge that Winston Farrell has joined us. We are anticipating that Sister Cherry Natural is here in spirit, and that she will be here in essence and person and body not long from now. Where is Sister Pam Hall? Right, Sister Pam Hall is there. She don't give us any musical blessings as yet. I don't know who iPhone 7876 and all those wonderful numbers are, but iPhone, come out of cyberspace and show your face.
Let me just join you in just welcoming all these beautiful spirits who are carrying beautiful messages for us today. I did have the pleasure of hearing some of Miss Lee's presentation, and I tell you, that woman speaks truth. And we give honor and praise to the messages she has brought and what she tries to open her eyes to. We ask the ancestors to walk with her.
Give thanks. And then we had said, let us not be stiff and formal. If anyone wants to jump in, then just jump in and say something. So for example, Cleve, I'm not seeing your name down as a performer. It doesn't mean you can't perform. And say something. Yeah, say something. Mr. ZTE Blade A3 2020, you can say something. Mr. Errol Sinclair, you can say something. But I'm going to allow you now, Nana Fofie, if you would let the Spirit guide you as to who the next performer should be.
There's a lady sitting, and all I see is Marcia, but I love her spirit. I see her name, just Marcia that I see, but her spirit is speaking so beautifully. Her spirit has so much to say that I would love to hear, especially like I was just dwelling in spirit space more to see if some of them same message that I bring right through this sister here. So, sister, you have the floor.
The poem is entitled Drums. The Boogarooba drum, the Bata drum, the Bunun drum, the Jimbe drum, the Ashiki drum, the talking drum. Oh, drums of Africa, your sounds echoing across generation, the stories you tell. Drums of Africa, amidst tribes separated by dialect, You became the national language. Your beats warned of danger and told stories of joy. Oh, drums of Africa. You were banned during slavery because of your power of communication. Talk to me now, drums of Africa. Tell me about the stories of our ancestors, the great kings and queens of Africa, like Mansa Kankang Musa, or like Queen Amina, the warrior queen, Uwari the Great, Shaka Zulu, and the legendary Queen of Sheba. Oh, drums of Africa, we hear your distance beating, echoing across the sounds of time as Francis Dominique Toussaint's literature and Queen Nanny of the Maroon your rhythm, rebelled against enslavement, paving the way for Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and a host of others. Oh, drums of Africa, their hearts still beat on in your rhythm. Hear the distant drums. Listen to the sweetness of its sounds. Feel the pleasure it brings. Oh, drums of Africa, you have never stopped talking. Oh, drums of Africa, we have never stopped listening. Oh, drums of Africa. Oh, tongues of Africa. Oh, drums of Africa. Drums of Africa. Drums of Africa. Oh, drums of Africa. Drums of Africa. Drums of Africa. Thank you.
Give thanks. Give thanks, Sister Marcia, only because Sister Marcia mentioned some names of the fighters from that time. I would like us to say their names from that time and from this time. So I'm going to ask us to just take 10 seconds and in your head, call up a name of a fighter from that time to this time. And we're going to go around the room and say their names. As we say in Tanzania, nakumbuka, we remember, nakumbuka. So as you were going through that, Sister Marcia, some of the names that came to me were Busa from Barbados, Nana Kauna from the Dominican Republic, and Prince Class from Antigua. Say their names. Say their names. Open your microphones, please, and say their names.
I thought of Bussa from Barbados. I thought of Marcus Garvey, Jamaica. I also thought of Malcolm X from United States of America because, yeah, those names, many names coming to mind, but those three stood out. King of the Spirit.
Give thanks, Rhyminister. Pardon me?
Coffee from Barbados.
Coffee. Give thanks. Give thanks. Say their names.
Nani from Jamaica.
Say their names. Thank you. Say their names.
And Zinga from Angola.
Thank you. Say their names.
Tom Joseph Boyle.
Tom Joseph, did you say?
From Kenya.
Thank you. Say their names. I'm sorry. I'm hearing a sound that I might not be able to control. So what we can do is ask you to mute your microphone until you're speaking. Let's take another 15 seconds or so and say their names.
Lucky Dube.
Lucky Dube, yes. Say their names.
Kwao.
Sorry, Flavius?
Kwao from Jamaica.
Yes, the Invisible Warrior. Say their names.
Clement Payne from Barbados and Trinidad.
Say that again.
Clement Payne from Barbados and Trinidad.
Thank you. Say their names.
It's Farrakhan.
That's not a familiar name to me, so please say it again.
Louis Farrakhan.
Louis Farrakhan, of course, of course. It sounded like Spartan, and that he is. Say their names.
Nelson Mandela.
Thank you. Say their names.
Stephen Biko.
Oh, Biko. Say their names. Steve Biko. Say their names. Louise Bennett. Say their names.
Shaka Zulu.
Shaka Zulu. Say their names. Derek Walcott, say their names.
Edward Kamau Bradford.
Say their names. Yes, say their names.
Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks.
Say their names.
Rosa Parks.
Got that, Rosa Parks, yes. Is there anybody who hasn't said a name? Is there anybody? Huh?
Sarah Gill, Barbados.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It says Sarah Ann Gill, Barbados.
Sarah Ann Gill, yes, say their names. Two more, and then I'm going to assume that we all have spoken and at least said one name. Errol Sinclair, have we heard from you saying a name?
Bob Marley, he says.
Oh, thank you very much. If we have,
Mandela.
yes, we got that, thank you. If we have all said a name, can you now enter the name of one of your personal ancestors? Your grandmother, your grandfather. We very often talk about history as if we're disconnected, but in that continuity, we have ancestors who are part of the relay. So I'm going to call on you now so that we do this in an orderly fashion and just say the names of one of your personal ancestors, Nakumbuka. Frank, is it Gilkes or Gilkes? Gilkes.
Gilkes, yeah.
Your turn, Frank.
Yeah, I mentioned my paternal grandfather, Mortimer Worrell.
Nakumbuka. Mr. iPhone 202-944-0095. Please unmute.
What a smile. Yeah, you're talking about
enter the name of one of your personal ancestors.
Well, my one even go further. My one come from like Helen of Troy.
And you're entering Helen of Troy as one of your personal ancestors, just to be clear.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Nakumbuka, Mr. ZTE Blade.
This is Antarrah Gilkes, and my ancestor was my maternal grandfather, Bruce Reginald Robinson.
Nakumbuka. Before we go on, Kennedy, teach us how to say that word, Twawakumbuka. Did I get it right?
Yes, yes.
Twawakumbuka. So we will learn that as well. Cleve, could you enter the name of one of your personal ancestors?
Mary Ann.
Twawakumbuka. Thank you. Pam?
My mother, Myrtle Hall.
Twawakumbuka. Courtney?
Amos Laidley, my grandfather.
Twawakumbuka. Thank you. Winston Farrell, bless you.
Blessings. My father, Vincent O'Neill Belgraff.
Twawakumbuka. Rhyminister.
My maternal grandmother, Rosanna O'Geese from St. Lucia.
Twawakumbuka. Marcia. Unmute, Marcia.
Mr. Cecil Jackson, from my grandfather from Jamaica.
Twawakumbuka. Tafina. Tafina, are you there?
Yes, good morning. My maternal grandmother, Myrtle Mayhall.
Twawakumbuka. Francine. Francine, are you there? Flavius, can you go for us, please?
Percival Lately, my maternal grandfather.
Twawa Kumbuka, iPhone 876 359 Are you there? Errol, we see that you have entered your grandmother's name. Can you say it for us, please?
Yeah, my maternal grandmother, Mildura Bradley.
Twawa Kumbuka. I'd like to enter the names of my parents, Miss Pearl and Miss Ajani, Twawa Kumbuka. And there is a reason I left Nana Fofie for the last. Oh, Kennedy, please go ahead. Sorry, Kennedy. Can you say your grandfather's name?
My grandfather's name, Gabriel Guaco.
Thank you, Twawa Kumbuka. And I'm going to ask Nana Fofie to say the name of her personal ancestors and then just pour blessings on all the ancestors whose names have been called.
And so I say I honor a spiritual ancestor, Okomfo Noche, of the Akan people. I want to give honor and praise to all the ancestors who have been called. I want to give honor and praise to all those ancestors we have not recognized by name today. But we want to give honor and praise to all the ancestors who have made the Caribbean what it is today. So we give honor and praise to those born on a Monday, those born on a Tuesday, those who came in on a Wednesday, and those who came in on a Thursday. We give honor and praise to those who were born on a Friday, those on a Saturday, and those who came in on a Sunday. This way we have forgotten no one. This way we have called everyone, even when we don't know their names, because it is respectful to call their names. But when we don't know, when the names have been lost in antiquity, when the names have been forgotten because they were beaten from us, then we find other ways, because that's the people that we are. We find ways to always venerate, to always honor our ancestors. We give thanks because as we call their names, we're calling our names, and we're mandating ourselves to the jobs that they have started. We're mandating ourselves to continue the work that they have started. We're mandating ourselves to build on their legacy, to expand it, and to leave for the future generation more than what we have received. When we call our ancestors, we're calling on strength. When we call our ancestors, we're calling on protection. When we call our ancestors, we're calling on guidance. When we call our ancestors, we're calling on the very depth of our spirit to be strong, to stand up and be counted, to say what needs to be said, and to do what needs to be done. When we call on our ancestors, we're calling on our own spirits to make our lives better and to make our countries better places to live and to dwell. Today, as we call our ancestors, we ask them to hear us. We ask them to see that we remember, to see that we're taking on the responsibility of remembering, to see that today we are calling their names. And when we call one ancestor, we call all ancestors. So we greet them all, we greet you all, we greet everyone here who has called an ancestor, and we greet those who are not in the space who would have liked to have called an ancestors, and we greet and empathize with those who don't know that they should call their ancestors.
Twawa Kumbuka. It sounds like it's time for some music, Sister Pam Hall.
I have a fan on. Is it causing any disturbance?
No.
Okay, cool. Okay, picking up from what Gabby was saying about Jamaica, I think I'll do the theme song because it is in celebration of Jamaica. Okay.
Just a minute, Pam, before you start. I'll ask all those who are not speaking to just mute their mics, please. We're getting feedback.
Thank you, Brother Courtney. Proceed, Sister Pam.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Walking on sand. Holding. Let me do it again because there's a certain person here who here missing in the not so correct key is going to be disturbed. So walking on sand. I'm holding your hand. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland. In my own homeland. Enjoying the bright, ooh, the warm sunlight. Oh my God, what a beautiful sight. In my own homeland. This place is so nice, wanna do everything twice. Yes, I feel as if I'm in paradise. No matter the season, you got every reason. This place is another little heaven. East or west, I couldn't care less. Oh, this place is definitely blessed. My own homeland. North or south, be free to wander about. You can sing, dance, or jump and shout in my own homeland. Give yourself a treat a few days of a week. You can feel that's what I mean. Just take my advice when you can take my advice. Everyone is nice. You feel like royalty, my friend. Bing, bing, bing. Bo, 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 ba, do, ba, do, do, da. Ba, 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 da, da. Dee, ba, dee, 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 do, 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 do. Da, ba, dee, dee, do, do, yeah. Do, do. Ba, 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 ba. Dee, 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 do, 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 study dee, dee, dee. Da ba da ba dee, 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 dee. Stop it, dee, 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 dee. And the music, no one can ever refuse it. Pulsating, vibrating, reggae, reggae, reggae. There is ska, rock steady, mental, a quadrilla, kumina, kumina, kumina. You can fill your belly with the coconut jelly, mango, papa, cane and guinea. There's an ackee and a saltfish and a roasted and banana. Curried gold and a manish water. And a Sunday special if you like a revival. Catholic, Baptist or Pentecostal. The house of Jah is there, have no fear. You go right in and get your share. Ding, ding. I'm walking on sand. I'm holding your hand. Be like a tourist in my own homeland. My own homeland. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland. My own homeland. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland. My own homeland.
Well, this one is a bombshell.
Cause we're sweet like that. Give thanks. Sister Pam, who would you like to go next? Who would you like to invite into the circle next to perform? Please unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah, I don't have all the names, so I don't know who to call it. Maybe I should just put...
Let me tell you who hasn't performed as yet. Kennedy hasn't performed as yet. Where is Winston? He was here just now. Farrell. But I'm not seeing him now. Frank has not performed as yet. So you have those three to pick from at the moment. Nor has Tafina. You have 4 left.
Okay. Okay, Kennedy.
Kennedy. What can you do, Punchinella, little fell? What can you do? Punchinella, little Ken. Your turn, Kennedy. Colin Kennedy.
Thank you very much. So it is Kennedy speaking from the capital, Nairobi, Kenya. And it's a pleasure to be in Real Stuff podcast.
Can you open? Sorry. Can you open your camera?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. So my poem has a title, My Color. This color. Yes, this black color. This black shining melanin, this color speaks loud. I don't hide in this color, but I am proud to be in this color. This is my pride, my religion, my love. I stand to unite and not divide. I stand to protect and not discriminate. I stand to love and not hate. I stand for one nation and not divided blocks. I stand for peace and no war and conflict. I am black rooted in beautiful Africa. It doesn't matter where this seed fell, whether in the motherland African continent or in the foreign Caribbean land, scattered all over. It doesn't matter where your umbilical cord was buried. But the blood of black man still runs in your veins. And that one calls for one voice, the voice that speaks in silence. I am a fierce tiger. I stay quiet and watch. I keenly keep my steps. I skim with quick thoughts. I estimate your patience. I read your mind and heart. I know I'm powerful with the lightning strike. Don't underestimate me. Never judge me either. Never ignore me in my silence. I'm like a slithering snake in grass. I mind my own business. But when my business becomes yours, never blame me for your own mistakes. And being so nosy in my life, because I won't allow you to hurt my next generation. Thank you.
Peter Tosh is pleased. I hear him saying,
oh, yes.
I am what I am. I am the son of lightning. You cannot move I at all. Because I am what I am. I am. Give thanks.
Sister Amina, there is a message in the chat from Mr. Frank telling us that Antarrah, I apologize if I've not pronounced this well, Gilkes is in the house, another poet.
Okay,
it
all
seems
right.
that Mr. Frank is asking that this beautiful poet be acknowledged. But in the meantime, let me just greet this brother, my brother. That was powerful.
Thank you.
That was powerful.
Thank you very much.
And that was awesome. And I also thought about Peter Tosh.
Okay.
When you said, don't underestimate me.
Don't underestimate my character.
Stepping Razor. Razor came to mind.
Give thanks. All the ancestors, all the good spirits are here and they are happy. Let me just ask Courtney and Flavius, how are we doing for time? How much more time do we have?
For time, I think maybe we'll have our next 40 minutes if you can.
Okay, fine. It's almost 20 minutes past 12. Right, so okay, let's go on. Thank you, Nana Fofie. Kennedy, who would you like to go next?
Okay, let me take on Tafina.
Tafina, what can you do? Punchinella, little fell. What can you do?
Punchinella's little dear.
Yes, Punchinella, no open her camera yet, you know. Come now, Punchinella, man.
Punchinella not opening her camera today. but you can hear Punchinella's voice. And I just
what that Punchinella?
Yeah.
You go to the stage show and perform from backstage?
No. No, we perform on stage. But Punchinella is here to at least express our greetings. I am enjoying the festivities. If I'm supposed to be absolutely honest, I myself was in a bit of a funk, and when I heard Sister Francine speak up and feeling more energized and, feeling more high in spirits, I began to feel it as well. And I must say thank you. And I say thank you to everyone who has been sharing their talents and their loves. I appreciate it so much. And I am enjoying this moment and the moments of calling upon our ancestors and people who have fought for our people.
Give thanks, Tafina. We honor the fact that in spite of not feeling 100%, you show up. History belongs to those who show up. Yes, so give thanks. Thank you for showing up. So we're going to allow you then to make a choice as to who the next performer should be.
All right. Well, thank you for that. As Mr. Courtney Ladley, would you like to say anything?
Me not see him name on the list.
It's not. Oh God. I didn't mean to draw you out, sir.
No, it's all right. But you call him, so I have to step forward.
All right. I'll just do a little piece. This one is entitled Puppet in a short poem. It goes like this. When puppeteers pull their strings, puppets soar like eagles, controlling the air, polluting the atmosphere. For their financial gains, I've given them the reins, so horses are kept in their stables, listening to fables while the trainers fill their containers with groceries from our limited resources. Let's not underestimate the role of a puppet who is busy being controlled by a master puppeteer. He'll get you sold to the highest bidder. That's a puppet.
Give thanks. And do I hear us affirming that no puppets in the room this morning?
I beg your pardon. I am a puppet.
You're a puppet?
Yes.
Tell us that.
Well, if you happen to what everybody say, and them shake yourself, and them put yourself, and them all make meet the party, puppet. I'm a puppet for my ancestors. And
okay, give thanks. Give thanks.
You can be puppet. Yes.
Give thanks. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we acknowledge Nyame as the supreme puppeteer.
Exactly.
We give thanks. So Nana, would you like to decide who goes next then, please? Please unmute. Please unmute. Thank you.
Me Poucho.
Yes.
I'm not sure who's Antarrah, but that's such an interesting name. I'd like her to tell us her name and then deliver a message that she might have for us today.
It's not a her.
It's not a her.
Is that you? And you will forgive me when you come. What do you say? What I mean? My ancestors them know exactly when them hear a name who it belongs to. Whether it's a man or a woman. Who no come with these names? What is the meaning of your name, sir? It's a beautiful name.
Actually, I don't know the meaning of it, but it's a name that I adopted many, many years ago when I started writing poetry. Antarrah was a pre-Islamic African warrior and poet.
Then are you that?
And I came across the name reading about Black history, and I like the name, so I adopted the name, and I started.
And the name adopted you, obviously.
Absolutely. I was about to say that your name found you.
Yes.
That's correct. So we pray
right.
that this warrior energy has gone before will be a really powerful guide and teacher for you.
Antarrah was a very, very well-known pre-Islamic poet and warrior. You can Google him. You can Google him and read about him. Very interesting character. Very interesting character.
Yes.
So what can you do, Punchinella, little fell? What can you do, Punchinella, little fell?
I'm going to share a poem called "The Gift of Island." From his frothing adolescent days, I wanted to be intimate with the curves, terraces, and timid softness that is this island, Barbados. I wanted to clutch the heart of its multifaceted soul and proclaim to the crazed and tragic world the elegant and awesome beauty of each smiling mile along her Atlantic-kissed coastline, and redefine the culture, politics, and possibilities of her essence, trapped in the stretch and strangle of language, now reimaged in my own native tongue. But how? How do I reach and seize the hurricane's frightful howl, or snare the soaring wail of these northeastern winds on page? How do I offer you the pounding song of the sea, the rhythm of wave play at Cove Bay, Bathsheba, Ragged Point, or the ocean's soft kisses here at Six Men's Bay? How? How do I snatch the sneaky full moon smile peeking over the hill like a playful lover, or the night's gentle serenade that lulls me to sleep? How do I trap the sunlight dancing on the undulating surface of the sea, or bouncing off that corrugated roof, that breadfruit leaf, photosynthesizing its rays into 1,000 hues of green, carpeting this flat surface, lazing alone on the Atlantic blue like an outside child, or give you the tangy taste of cool coconut water in words? Thank you.
Wow. Sister Amina, suppose him to find the answer to all them the hows. Then we know what I do well, man.
You see, that's why Nancy discover say him can't get all the wisdom in the world. Because as you're collecting it, more is being created. Yeah. And that's the beauty of asking the hows.
Wow. What? That's a beautiful house. Man, I tell you.
Give thanks.
Give thanks. Give honor, give praise.
So you have given us something to go and look up. I certainly want to learn more about Antarrah.
Yes.
I'm glad you got the pronunciation.
Yes.
Yes, the pronunciation is right.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
I soon tell you who Antarrah is reminding me of. Gilgamesh. Sound like Antarrah and Gilgamesh did live in the same era. Gilgamesh.
And you think about that Antarrah energy, they sound like it. So very, how I should say, it's like a spiritual warrior.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Gilgamesh of the Sumerians.
And philosophy and them things.
Yes, of the Sumerians. And when the little boy asked the old man, what happened to the Sumerians? Mm-hmm. He said very simply, they forgot their history, and so correct. They died. We're not dead, you know. Can look on all the memories where we inside here,
right here
stir up. So Antarrah, who would you like to call on next?
Could I call on my brother Frank?
Yes, yes. I have a curiosity. Are you blood brothers or spiritual brothers?
Blood brothers.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
Blood brothers.
Sister Amina, all them look out for them one another.
Yes, indeed. And that's the sweetest part. So what can you do, Punchinella, little fella? What can you do, Punchinella, little fella?
Hi, good day to everyone. I did this one once before on the podcast, but I don't think many of you were there to hear it. So I'm going to do it again.
and because it is topical because it's called New Republic. And it's my take on the Republic of Barbados. New Republic. Wrapped in the gold of flag, the black trident piercing our sides, hugged by the ultramarine of an embracing Atlantic, I watch this ancient landmass that stretched past when Judas betrayed Christ to rise up from the deep blue, pay the price with blood and sweat, but never to forget Kofi's dream, baptized by fire, now igniting desire to become masters of our destiny, fueled by pain and gratitude, bringing hope from Barrow, who let us hear, Amor, love conquers all who care. The journey is now beginning. We must now rise up to paddle the canoe that transported our Kalinago predecessors across this island chain to once more regain affinity with Mother Earth, giving rebirth to the battle with climate war and invasions of viruses into our space. Rise up, make haste to greet the new republic at Buckingham's Gate. It is never too late to unchain the shackles that bound us to a colonial fate, making us stop and contemplate as we chart charters for this new state, while some make futile debate, thinking we should hesitate. I say, on to the new republic. Don't be caught loitering, dreaming of our future fate. The time is now to welcome our new republic state.
Give thanks. Give thanks. Wonderful. Yes, indeed. Wonderful. Indeed. Well, it's only two people don't perform yet. And that's Winston Farrell and Amina Blackwood-Meeks. And so who would you like to go next, Frank? Please unmute. Please unmute. We can't hear you.
I call on Winston Farrell.
All right, brother Farrell. What can you do? Punchinella, little fella. What can you do? Punchinella, little fella.
Hey, greetings to everybody.
All of a sudden, your face gone, Winston.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning to everybody. It's
Good
been
morning,
an interesting session so far. I came in pretty late. Had a meeting this morning. Told Fairbanks I wasn't too sure if I would be able to meet the date, but here I am. So you've been talking a lot about blessings and outreach. I want to do this piece called Offerings. This is the second time I'm reading this poem publicly, and here we go. Oriye o, Ori Ebo Ashe. In praise we trust the dark light, faith in the sunrise. Who walks in the dead of night holds on to a rope tied to ancestors, that umbilical of hope connecting fortunes. Water for the wind, pour libations from the lips. Light up your candles, sandalwood and frankincense. Lay your flowers down. Call on the name of ancestors. Make your offerings. Take your altar to the sea. Yemaya awaits your prayers. Oriye o, ring the bell, Ebo Ashe. We have brought honey, pure water for the spirit. Oriye o, king of the white cloth, Ebo Ashe. O Batala, O, prepare us for thy kingdom as we labor here on earth. Clear the path, Eshu. Ilegwa, oh, Ilegwa. The drums are calling. Ilegwa, oh, Ilegwa. Tricks the god of chance. Take our ebos up heaven way beyond the gate. We wait at the four-cross road for that message from our God. Palms up to the sky. Ogun, the warrior god, we ask for your protection. Walk with us, Ogun. Help us grow, God of iron. Feed us with fire. One sip of strong rum, one puff of your sweet cigar as we journey on. Shango Rio, Lord of the lightning and thunder, the calm and the storm. There is no celebration without your fire, red passion, white beads of peace, okra and palm oil. We dance and sing in the streets. Bestow your ashe on us. Gather the blessings. This is Olaroon's morning. Thank you, green hillsides. Thank you for blue skies, the bravery of brownstones. Thank you for the breath of trees. You, our final judge, the supreme Oladumer. Day begins with you.
Give thanks.
Give thanks.
Yes.
I can get a word in.
Yes,
if
get a word.
Brother don't mind. Can I close that little thing there for him?
Yeah, Olodumare.
Does he mind? Ask him, please. Do you mind, brother, if I just close that for you?
Yes.
Because my spirit is just saying, Ibarisha Ibalayo.
Ashe.
Iborisha Ibalayo. Ache mojuba, ache. Mojuba orisha, mojuba orisha, ache. Mojuba orisha, mojuba ile, mojuba orisha, ache. And you know there's more, but that is what came into my spirit.
Give thanks. Bless.
Babalawo.
Hey.
Babalawo.
Praise it be. Olodumare, the Almighty. Give thanks.
Give thanks.
Give thanks. So here is what I would like to propose. I would like to propose now that I do my story, that after I do my story, Nana Fofie, you pick up right after me, and that when you are finished, you throw to Courtney and Flavius, and they can do as they will with what time remains. Is that okay with everyone? Give thanks. So I'm a storyteller. Oh yes, please may I be allowed to talk about my two children's books. Behind me is my CD from last year, and people said to me, Amina, people still buy CD? And I say yes, because I still see them selling. And furthermore, I say the Concord did not render the donkey obsolete. So there we are. We still are ride with the donkey. But I have two children's books, one that came out last year. My plan is to do one every year for Universal Children's Day until I clear them out of the boxes in which they are. So last year, that's a good idea, which encourages children to celebrate their beauty and their blackness as a good idea. Thank you for living in your own skin and being so proud of it, Kennedy. That one came out. And last week, whenever the 20th was Universal Children's Day, the second one is out. And the second one is called Don't Hurt That Bird. And it's a salute to the environment, but in particular to Nanny, who many people believe, legend has it, that she turned into a bird and went about our business. And if you go up into Nanny Town, you mustn't hurt any bird because you might be hurting one of your ancestors. And both of them are available on Amazon. If you're in Jamaica, they're in all the major bookstores, and they are in Fimi Bookshop. And when people say, but where can I find that? I say, anywhere you see my car, the back seat of my car is Fimi Bookshop. So you have no reason for you can't find the book. This story I'm about to share with you is originally a Nigerian story. And sometimes when I say that, I shake my head because I don't know if the Nigerians going to recognize them story except for the title. Because I saw Jamaicans steer. Once them put them foot into anything, give thanks for Elaine Thompson here, who put our foot into a big thing recently. Once them put them foot or them hand or them mouth into something, then it transforms. But it's a Nigerian story called The Greatest Treasure. And I tell it as a Christmas story. I love Christmas because it's another occasion to bring us all together. So when we tell stories, we have a ritual for telling the stories. The storyteller must say something, and those who are listening must say something else. And in that way, we acknowledge that although we tell the story, and sometimes although we did write the story, and we make the story come from a longer time. Peter Tosh used to say, him not write no song. The song out there in the atmosphere, I do so. And him just wake up one day and pick down one. And that a theme song. So there is a ritual for starting the stories. When we go around the region, we hear it. We hear crick crack. We hear Tim Tim washes. We hear Edie quick, Edie quack. And so as a storyteller, I honor the places from which I get the story by endeavoring to learn how they start stories and to begin the story that I copy from them or borrow from them in their tradition. And so in Nigeria, the storyteller will say, this is a story. And those who are listening will say, let it come, let it come. So let's try it. This is a story.
Let it come, let it come.
Thank you. It's the story of the greatest treasure of all. A long time ago, there was a farmer. And as we know, farmers don't have a lot of money. I don't know why people who sell cigarette and sell rum always have money. And the people who feed we have to poor, and we go to the market and try to cut down them prices. But we have also learned through our stories that food isn't always a symbol of the physical. Food is very often a symbol of the spiritual, that we need to be spiritually nourished. So in this story, this farmer was very poor. He had a wife and a son and a daughter, and he planted his seeds one January. But February, March, April, no rain no fall. So nothing no grow. April, May, June, no rain no fall. So nothing no grow. So him not have nothing to reap. July, August, September, no rain no fall. So nothing no grow. Him not have nothing to reap. And then in the middle of October, you know those people who just wait around to start make them cash register sing, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And it's sweet them. Say, them cash register, I go ring when you come in, come by. But the farmer and his wife and his son and his daughter were very unhappy because all of these songs encourage you to write down what you're planning to give and what you're planning to receive. It was a very bad year. So he had nothing to give, nothing to receive. And his neighbors, who were also farmers, found themselves in a very similar position. But the farmer here, that at the end of the rainbow was the greatest treasure of all. And him said to him wife, you know, the next time the rainbow comes up, and I hear your Nana Fofie that the rainbow is a sacred symbol in the religious traditions.
Indeed.
Yes. So we honor that as well. And him decides, say, the next time the rainbow come up, him going to follow it and find the greatest treasure and bring it back home. And him wife say, you know how far that is? You ever want food? And so she searched all the cupboards in the kitchen and she find a little bit of flour and she find a little bit of cornmeal and she find a little bit of cooking oil and she make something that a long time ago we used to call fried dumpling, but now we call it festival. She make up some festival and she put it into one little flour bag and then she find a little sugar. She didn't even have a lime, so she couldn't make lemonade. She makes some sugar and water and put it into a little bucket. The next time the rainbow came up, this man took up him little flour bag full of festival and him little bottle full of sugar and water, and he set off and he's walking through the rainbow and him don't know how far him going, so him know say him have to ration the food. So every day him eat 2 of the festival and him take 2 sip of the sugar and water, and him a go on, man. And him a go on. And in him head, him know say, him a go find the greatest treasure, and him a go bring it back. So him a sing my favorite Jamaican Christmas song. Christmas a come, me want me llama. Christmas a come, and your llama is anything you want that is wonderful and you believe when give you joy. Christmas a come, me want me llama. Christmas a come, me want me llama. And sometimes I'm tired, so it never so happy. Christmas a come, me want me llama. Until one day, when he had only 2 festival and 2 sip of the sugar and water leave, he came across 2 strangers who were so skinny. If him do so, them are gonna blow away. And them say, you know, sir, we hungry. And we see you with a bag. And we see you with a buckle. You can give us something to eat and drink. And when this farmer looked in his bag, him only have 2 leave. And him look in him buckle, him only have 2 sip leave. And him look on the 2 mark, a stranger, and him say, but if me give you, me going to have to turn back because I don't know how much further I have to go. And they said, but if you don't give us, we're going dead. And all white squall around them mouth. So this farmer gave them his last 2 festival and him last 2 sip of water. And him know say him going to have to turn back now. But he remembered that somewhere he had read, be kind to strangers. You don't know. One of these days, you could be entertaining angels. So him give them the last away him have, and him turn around, and him sad now. So the song slow down. Christmas a come, me want me llama. Christmas a come. And then he heard his name. Biambe! And Biambe said, but who in the middle of nowhere know my name? And Biambe turned around, and there were the 2 strangers now, running behind him, except now their skins were glowing, and them looked so nice and fresh, and he thought above their heads, he saw halos. And them said, Biambe, we know where you're going. And when you get there, you're going to need this. And they gave him 1 big rusty key. And before him could have said, where this for? Poof, they disappeared. But in the place where they stood, Biambe see 1 big bag full of freshly cooked festival. And 1 big buckle full of lemonade. And Biambe pick it up, man. And Biambe turn around again. And Biambe have energy now. And him a run. And him a sing. Christmas a come, me want me llama. Christmas a come. Until he came to the end of the rainbow. And there he saw a little wooden hut. Biambe say, this are the greatest treasure. Anyway, me have a key. Make me open it and go look. So him take out the key and him open the door. The key rusty, you know. So the door a creak, 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 creak till it open. Biambe go inside. Well, it's like JPS wasn't working that day. Dark! Not a light inside there. But as soon as Biambe's eyes grew accustomed to the darkness, he saw another door on the other side. So Biambe opened that too. Outside, the sunlight a go blind him. The sun bright and pretty is a shame. Biambe see every flowers in the world. Him see the pride of Barbados. Him see the hibiscus. Who else? Somebody here from Belize. What is your favorite flowers? Me don't know. But him see all of them. And then him see some fruit trees. Yes. Him see some nice fruits like it come from Kenya. Him see some Jamaica sugar cane. Him see mango. Him see all of these wonderful things. Biambe said then are the greatest treasure this. And just as Biambe I go pick now. In the distance, he heard voices singing. Christmas a come, me want me llama. Biambe said, hold on. That is my song. Who out here know my song? And Biambe listen some more. Him say, but that sound like my wife. And I just one person I sing. Like Biambe heard an entire choir That sound like him wife, and him son, and him daughter, and him neighbors who were farmers, and for them wife, and for them son, and for them daughter. And the voices came closer and louder. Christmas a come, me want me llama. And that's who they were. His family, and his neighbors, and their family. And in that moment, Biambi realized that he had traveled halfway around the world in search of the greatest treasure on earth, to come back to the place where he lived, to discover that all the while he was living with the greatest treasure of all. May you find yours this Christmas. Thank you for the Christmas. Thank you for the New Year. And thank you for the chance to live to see another Christmas. I come, me want me llama. Christmas, I come, me want me llama. Christmas, I come, me want me llama. Christmas, I come. Give thanks.
My greatest storyteller, how do I ever thank you for all that you have given, for bringing the art of storytelling and the science of storytelling back into our memories, back into our hearts, back into our homes, back under the mango tree, and back out in some yard and see us stand up and tell the story them. Back under the hot sun and the cool shade, I've seen you in them, telling the stories, keeping alive a tradition that goes beyond us, a tradition of our ancestors and their ancestors and their ancestors' ancestors, a tradition that it has been an honor for me to hear you keep, my sister, to be able to hear again the brilliance in the crafting, the brilliance and the sheer joy in the telling of the story. No matter how simple the story, you have made it rise above what would ordinarily be considered beautiful. These are where we give honor to our ancestors. These are the spaces. It took courage for Flavius, Courtney, Franco, and their whole team to have started the Real Stuff podcast. But fear is never an option, because you know what? Osamaheni awojowoyo. Osamaheni awojowoye. Esibakana jankuma nama wanye. Esibakan awokuno. We have deities who hold their ancestors in their arms, guide, guard, and protect them. We have ancestors. Samano ye, samano bukurwa. Minuno so mainewu, woti asifona denio. Samano ye, samano bukurwa. Once you've seen your ancestors, once you know your ancestors, of what will you be afraid? These are the teachings of our ancestors in the tradition of our Akan people, in the tradition of those who have gone before. I want to close with a short poem because it has come to my spirit. Many people have said we should forget the history that we know, the history that we are part of. We should walk away from our ancestors, that their ways are this and their ways are that. And yet today, every person who was here, whether I heard them or not, brought messages from the ancestors. Every person had a teaching from the ancestor, whether it was about caring for our spouses, taking care of our children, all through the many themes, whether they came through the jazz music of Sister Pam Hall, which also originated in our African space, or the gentle tales of the warrior energies who came through today. When we forget these ways, what will happen? And so this poem asks, and if we put this behind us, how will history judge us? As brave men willing to embrace the future, or as cowards afraid to face the past? Will the scars of bondage and cruelty disappear, manhood redeemed, womanhood undefiled, sisterhood and brotherhood embraced, and they lived happily ever after? Tata, 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 turn the page. Don't I look like Goldilocks? It has been a wonderful day. Again, I apologize for having joined when I did a little bit later, but I also am so giving thanks for the opportunity to have gone to the shrines this morning and in the way of our Akan people, did offerings with prayers, not just for me, not just for the house, but for the nation. Asking the ancestors to continue to abide with us, even when we look like we would step away, even when we look like we would want to forget, even when we look like we'd want to shut down the voices who are part of this podcast today, even want to put the real stuff out to bring in the fake stories that do not serve us well. I am certainly giving honor today. Sister Amina, it was such a pleasure to be with you. I greet everyone who has stayed. I greet those who have come and gone. I greet those who would have wanted to be here. And I say, may we all be blessed as we continue in the way of our great ancestors. Whether we bear their names or not, we are who we are. We are what is inside of us, and we are becoming who we are. Nothing new. We are a great people, and each one of us is becoming that great link in this chain that holds us all together. So my instructions are to hand back to Franco and Courtney and Flavius. So I'm very good at, especially Sister Amina, I follow her instructions to the core. I'm going to she go tell Anansi for me.
All right, thank you, Sister Amina, and also Nana Fofie. Finally get your name call your name properly this morning. Nana Fofie.
It's okay.
Okay, so Courtney, I'll just bring you in for the summary and then we wrap up.
Well, I'll just make it brief because I see Francine in the house still. So let me just make it brief. I just want to thank all our guests. Special thanks to our hosts, Amina and Nana Fofie. Well, you did a tremendous job. So, and thank all the people who are still here too. We haven't heard from some of the people who are in the room, the Zoom room, but just to let you know that we do appreciate you all, and as we come to this close, that we'll just say season greetings to each and every one and to their families. And I'll just briefly hand over to Flavius.
Yes, thank you very much all for coming. Very good to, for you to have been here. I see one person who has just come, and I just want to give her an opportunity to say a few words. Yvonne is one of our team members. Yvonne, if you can unmute your mic.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. A Jamaican in Trinidad and Tobago. And I too have my story to tell, but on another occasion. Flavius and I go way, way, way back. In fact, the first time we met was close to the dawn of the year 2000. So we go way back. And what was the opinion as to what was going to happen to the system and so on in terms of our IT support and so on. My life now, and perhaps some of the others, is that we're at another threshold. And my sincerest wish for blessing, happiness, and safety to all. I have revised my priorities. It has forced reality to a lot of areas in our lives. I pray for unity in the Caribbean. I was there when CARICOM started, and we still have not reached the place. Flavius and I spoke to an idea a long time ago called Caribbean Cluster, and we have yet to see that very simple and basic idea reach to the leaders of our region. I thank God for the opportunity that we were able to do as Caribbean people, to have had that summit with the leaders from Africa. Unfortunately, I had to work but I have seen benefits from it, again, not as fast as we would like. I give thanks for life. I give thanks for just being here today to talk to everybody, to hear my Jamaican accent. When I first came, they weren't sure where I was from, but the true Jamaicans will find it under the layers. Miss Meeks, I know of you. I've never had the chance to see you live. I am waiting to do some stuff to bring Jamaica in its proper place. The whole virtual atmosphere has forced us to go where we were afraid to go or didn't want to go or whatever. We are there and it suits us. We each have our story to tell. As I mentioned, I'm not a poet or a writer or a dramatist, but I have my story to tell to my dear friend Flavius, to Courtney, and to Franco. I will make sure I make more time next year. Continue to invite me to your things. I made a big effort to be here. I was late, but I am truly, truly blessed, even for this small amount of time. I'm getting choked up, so I better stop. Bye-bye, everybody, and take care. Walk good.
Yes, and be safe.
Good puppy walk with you.
Indeed.
Can we ask Miss Cleve to say a few words? I don't think he has spoken.
Oh, what a wonderful day it has been. Tremendous sharing, gathering of all the brothers and sisters across the world. I bring you the warmth and sunshine from Ontario, Canada. And may the true spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood be with us all throughout this wonderful season of sharing. It has been a tremendous day, and this will forever live with us throughout this season. And we look forward to more sharing and caring in the new year. So as we say in Jamaica, walk good. Thank you.
Walk with you.
Back to you, Franco.
Yes. So thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedule and to be here with us this morning. And we look forward for you 2022. But just enjoy the rest of 2021. Whoa, you hear the alarm go off there? Right on the dot. Right on target. So for those of you inside the YouTube live room, we thank you also for being with us throughout the whole season. Yes, we know we have the ups and downs, and we have lost loved ones and neighbors and family members. But we look forward for a brighter tomorrow. As Culture Doc said, he's now overseas, couldn't be here this morning. We're still looking for a brighter day. So let's keep it up that way and be positive as we go forward. Please remember to subscribe, like and share the video. And the object of this channel is to educate you and entertain you. And remember, the Real Stuff Podcast is your Caribbean podcast. We had a wonderful week. I can only imagine right now, when I see, the presentation of this week. I mean, boy, if we did have all the equipment like the professionals, man. People don't know what we have right now, but what we have right now.
Last week and this week, yeah.
Let's cherish it. Because guess what? It's going to help us one day. Because the Caribbean right now, it's really booming. And, we just have to be thankful. We're thankful for life. We're thankful for our family, our brothers, our sisters, near and far. Everybody, we're thankful. So let us, move forward. Let's strive together for love and unity. So let's live and love every moment of your life and be grateful for each new day. Cherish your family and friends. Bless others. Keep the faith. Never lose hope. And remember, prayer changes things regardless of what religion you belong to. You must pray and continue to pray. So on behalf of my podcasting team, Courtney, Flavius, Francine, Max Juanetta, and myself, have a joyful morning, a joyful afternoon, a joyful evening, depending on your time zone. don't make no one take your joy. And so I'm going to ask Queen Lubafu to say the Our Father in the Garifuna language. And Tafina will take with myself to take us out of here. So, season greetings to everyone.
Yeah, season greetings.
You lead us to Fula. You belong far away away. Ajuguala never buseru. Lida mua, lida sungfula. Lida mua, lida sungfula.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know what set me if it could flee. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi hide like a thief in the night. Me I fi get out of sight. Me I fi take away me say. I fi take away me say. I fi utilize I wings. Surely I leave her.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.